Hello and welcome to Good Morning Thailand. I'm Jay.
And I'm Alex.
And today we'll be talking about a brawl in Phuket sparking police criticism, a Danish tourist running amok with a weapons cache on Koh Samui, and a little later we'll cover a Malaysian pop star caught smuggling drugs in Thailand. We've got some stories from Thailand, we've got some stories from around ASEAN. Here we go with our first story today, which is talking about Thailand offers Indians indefinite visa-free entry with 60-day stays. Great news for Indians traveling to Thailand. Thailand has indefinitely extended its visa-free entry for Indian nationals, allowing them to stay up to 60 days without a visa, with an option to extend for 30 additional days. Originally introduced for 1 year in 2023, this policy has now been made permanent due to a surge in Indian tourists, who contributed significantly to Thailand's tourism revenue. Now, the ease of the visa-free travel has driven spontaneous trips and boosted visitor numbers. Additionally, Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin is exploring a Schengen-type visa for 6 Southeast Asian countries to simplify regional travel and enhance tourism across Thailand. Doesn't that make a lot of sense?
Yeah, this is something that, Srettha spearheaded when he was prime minister, and now they're trying to continue it because it does make sense. The Schengen-style thing makes it easier for people who want to visit this region. You don't have to get visa for Cambodia and Laos and Vietnam, like if you want to go to all of them. So definitely will help boost tourism to the whole region overall. So it just seems like a win-win-win everywhere. And kudos to the Indians.
Kudos.
They get to spend a lot more time in Thailand.
Indians love traveling to Thailand. Now they've made it even more easier. And yeah, they should. Like Singaporeans, Malaysians, Myanmar, Laos, Vietnam, they've got a plan to do it to all of them. I mean, sure, why not? Come to Thailand.
Yeah.
Spend your money.
Yeah, do it all
That's
over.
what the government wants.
Yeah, Thailand wants it. They all want it, honestly. And good for them. Hopefully they can get past their whatever. It doesn't seem like there's too much differences in terms of international policy. So I think they should be able to move forward with this pretty quickly. Mandalik asking, any special significance of Alex wearing blue? Wink. Moving on to our next story. We're heading over to Phuket. Now, foreigners have been brawling on Patong Beach, and this has sparked a lot of criticism for Thai law enforcement. So, a viral video of 2 foreigners fighting on Patong Beach, Phuket, has stirred online criticism regarding the enforcement of Thai laws. The video, shared on TikTok and later deleted, shows 2 men brawling, with one still seated on a motorcycle. It was reposted by the Phuket Times, sparking comments from Thai netizens who argue that lenient laws and bribery enable such behavior, claiming this leniency wouldn't be tolerated abroad. Many criticized, the apparent lack of police intervention, with comments suggesting that foreigner behavior in Thailand often goes unchecked. No official response has been provided by authorities yet.
Bada bing, bada boom. There's a good point there. A lot of foreigners seem to get away with things that they wouldn't in their own country, and sometimes I feel like even perhaps the locals might not. You know.
Yeah, this is one of those things. I don't really understand why. Who knows what kind of money is being passed around? But at the same time, it seems to be chaos a lot. I mean, it's kind of our bread and butter here at Tyger. Patong's behaving badly, so certainly a lot of people drinking too much. Definitely, you're on vacation, you let loose a little bit. I'm not sure if the leniency is intentional or if it just sort of plays out that way. But certainly a lot of people are questioning the police on this one.
You can, in general, in Thailand, if you've been living here for a while, you'll realize yourself you can get away with a lot of things as a foreigner. Like, people are a lot more lenient. They're like, he's just a crazy foreigner, or it's okay, he's a foreigner. Let's just let him get away with it. But yeah,
no, shouldn't be.
Let me ask you a personal question. Do you feel that, as a person who's been here in Thailand for a long time, I know you speak a little Thai, but do you think that when you go to places like banks or certain places in Thailand where you are required service, you get treated better because you're a foreigner?
I just go into the bank and they just hand me money. I do have a weapon with me, so that might be part of it. And haven't been arrested yet.
You're a hooligan. You're a hooligan.
No, I don't know. I find Thai people to be very courteous and very professional in all situations. I'm not sure how locals treat each other, but it always seems pretty amicable to me. It's only it's always late night in the tourist destinations like Pattaya and Phuket where these kinds of stories develop. And, I feel a little more civilized here in Bangkok.
fair enough.
I don't think we do too much of this here.
Don't do it,
we?
guys. Don't get drunk and start fights. But we're gonna do it anyway. All right. Moving on to our next story, where it's about a delayed emergency response in Thailand leads to patient's death. Now, a private car obstructed an emergency vehicle in Samut Prakan, causing a crucial delay that led to a patient's death. Despite the rescue vehicle's flashing lights and sirens, the Honda car in front refused to yield for over a minute, occasionally braking and further slowing down the emergency team. This delay preventing the team from reaching the unconscious patient in time. A video of the incident went viral, sparking public outrage over drivers' lack of cooperation in emergencies. Rescue team members highlighted the critical need for road users to promptly give way, as every second counts in life or death situations. The patient's family chose not to pursue legal action.
Hey, it's up to the family, I guess, but that is, this is a big problem. I don't know how it's possible for ambulances to very easily, get through Bangkok traffic around Thailand generally, but Bangkok especially. I mean, I've seen them with the sirens wailing, and everybody just sort of stays. I don't really know what to do.
I've had a couple of experiences where if other people see other people move to the side, then they do it too, because then it's you're kind of making them feel guilty. So I have kind of tried to move to the side, and then people start kind of making way, but it still seems extremely difficult for these ambulances to get around. And then, like everything, there's always some idiot who's trying to use the ambulance to get out of traffic as well.
Yeah,
so people are wary of that, and then they don't want to do it. But anyways, I mean, I've always thought come up with a solution. These ambulances should have battering rams in the front, and if you don't move within 10 seconds, they have the right to just batter through you. I'm all for that.
Now they need an ambulance.
I'm all for that. Either move to the side or get battered.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
I've definitely been on some grab bikes and bolts where when there is an ambulance coming, they're like, "Oh, okay, get out of the way," and then quickly they're following them through the traffic. I guess that's a strategy. I don't really know, but
sick.
In any case, it sucks, and it would be nice to be able to alleviate some of this traffic so that these kinds of situations happen less. This was Samut Prakan, though. This was a jerk driver, brake checking an ambulance. I don't know. Get out of the way, man. It's not like they were bumper to bumper, so no excuses on that one. Well, anyways, we got more foreigners behaving badly.
Love it.
Who'da thunk? Now, a Danish tourist has been arrested for weapons cache, a rampage in Koh Samui.
Oh, very badly. Okay.
A Danish tourist, Asger Plug Emborg, that was fun, terrorized Koh Samui with a shocking display of weaponry and threats, causing widespread alarm among locals and tourists. Now, this was on November 2nd. Boput police responded to reports of Emborg wielding an air gun and machete, allegedly threatening a Myanmar worker and attacking vehicles. This guy was playing GTA. Witnesses reported him pointing the gun at people from his car, while hotel staff described chaotic behavior, with Emborg throwing objects and brandishing weapons. Police arrested him, finding an alarming cache of weapons in his room, including air guns, knives, and a samurai sword, of course. Currently, Emborg is undergoing a psychiatric evaluation, seems appropriate, and drug tests to assess his behavior.
What a loon.
It's pretty wild.
It's quite wild. I mean, thank God it's not a real gun and it's an air gun, but those things still hurt.
Oh, yeah. And also, you probably can't tell the difference, too, when it's just getting pointed at you. Yeah. It's terrorizing.
Imagine, literally terrorizing. Imagine the feeling you see some crazy foreigner guy shirtless running around with a rifle.
Wild-eyed, just...
and a machete in the other hand.
And a samurai sword at home, too. Look at that. This guy... ticking a lot of boxes with that stuff.
You don't often get these kind of stories from Samui, so I'm a bit surprised, but not surprised at the same time.
Yeah, it was still a Patong behaving badly. So here we go. I want to get a wheel. I want to get a wheel where we can spin it with all the different nationalities and see. All right, where are we landed on today?
I don't know.
But yes, the Danes. You guys are taking the shaming today. This is one of yours.
Okay. All right. Well, for now, we're going to move on to our next story, which is talking about a Bangkok car plunge that shocked residents, but the driver escapes with minor injuries. All right. Well, a car plunged from a third-floor parking lot in a Bangkok condominium, leaving a 69-year-old driver with only minor injuries. Thankfully, the accident occurred around 11:15 a.m. in the Pinklao area when the car unexpectedly accelerated, breaking through the parking wall and landing on its roof below. Photos shared online show significant damage to the wall, raising concerns about high-rise parking safety. Authorities are investigating potential causes, including driver error or mechanical failure. In response, the condominium management has pledged to enhance safety measures and repair the damaged structure, prioritizing resident safety.
Yikes! Yeah, this we got an older driver, right? Sometimes the brake pedal becomes the gas pedal, and all of a sudden you are on your head.
Yeah.
3 stories down. Fortunately, minor injuries, so that's good. But
I mean, you'd think that he wouldn't be going that fast. I mean, even if you did press the wrong pedal, there's only a certain amount of distance where he would garner some speed. So, yeah, probably some better safety measures as well. Because if a car can just go through a wall, easily,
what's the point of the wall? Right? Yeah, but I don't know. I might have been trying to do a Back to the Future through it. I'm not sure, but
true. Who knows? If I go fast enough, I'll start flying through.
You gotta get some speed going, but third floor. That was lucky.
He just watched Fast and Furious the other day, and he was like, "I'm Vin.
You drifting.
I'm basically Vin."
Family. But anyways, I also got to ask the question. Now he's only 69. That's not that bad, but should there be an upper age limit to driving?
There
or
is.
something like
I
that?
believe when you turn 60, because 60 is the age of retirement in Thailand. So when you turn 60, you have to renew your license, your driving license, and I believe you also have to renew your national ID. I'm not sure.
Ah, interesting. I don't know, but I feel like that's something where every couple of years or something gives you something to do in retirement. Anyways, you probably you can complain about the bureaucracy as you get retested, and maybe we take away your license because good God, this happens. Like it's old people
Just
driving.
Be safe out there, guys. It's called grab, bolt, or in driver.
Yeah, exactly. And don't be old. Rule number one. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
It's just
It was unnecessarily ageist. You young fiend. You young people lover.
I'm just looking at the voting demographics and getting bitter about the boomers. All right, moving on. On to our next story. Speaking of Phatongs behaving badly, this is me, right? Am I kidding? All right, cool. Thailand police chief has launched a 15-point crackdown on foreign crime.
All right.
High time. Now, Thailand's national police chief, Police General Kitarat Panpet, announced a 15-point plan on November 4th to combat foreign crime and enhance public safety. The plan emphasizes strict immigration control, targeting foreign criminals, and tightening border security to prevent illegal entries. This initiative also involves heightened monitoring of criminal networks, especially those involving foreigners, and closer collaboration with neighboring countries to curb cross-border crime. Of course, Myanmar having a lot of yaba coming across the border. A new cyber check app set for release in 2025 aims to protect citizens from online fraud, which is probably overdue. Now, Kitarat stresses police integrity, transparency, and fair treatment of law-abiding foreigners while ensuring strict penalties for law violators. Well, here we were talking about people being able to get out of trouble pretty easily, it seems, foreigners. Well, at the same time, the police are coming out with this statement saying, hey, we're going to crack down more. We're going to do a little bit more in enforcement. We shall see.
We shall see. They said something along these lines where they were going to give the yellow card and red card, where like, if foreigners are behaving badly, they'll get yellow card, red card gets you deported, and then I think there was you can also get blacklisted. That went on for a while, and then now they've got a point system. So is the point system... What about the yellow and red cards? Do you not get the cards anymore, or
what are we going to a soccer system? What is this like?
Yeah.
I would love if the police just to come out like whistle.
Yeah, you've got a warning.
Yeah,
one more, you're out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's
and also like the violators of like the law. Like it was a very gray area. As in like, is a speeding ticket or a parking ticket the same as me getting into a fight in Patong, or what's the
Yeah.
Where do we draw the line?
I don't know. Probably with how much money you have, I think.
True.
Might
Fair
be a
enough.
part of it. No, I'm just kidding.
Whoa. You're just off the rails
allegedly.
today, aren't you?
I
You're
don't
very
know.
aggressive.
Yeah. Hot takes, baby.
The
I'm doing
Singapore
hot
trip
takes
has
all
gotten
day.
you very aggressive. Come back with a vendetta.
Hey, do you know how much it costs just for a scoop of ice cream over there? Jesus Christ. Like, anyways.
You've come with a vendetta for our mature audience and the spending power.
Catching strays.
Yeah.
I was just with my mom all for a week. And,
Mama Natori,
yeah,
I told the people.
Closer.
I told the people.
I took her to craft. That was with all my American retiree boys.
I was about to
dude,
say, what do you mean you feel closer? You feel closer to being old?
No, well, that, but also like just more in tune with their culture, if that makes sense.
I see. Proper American. She lives in the Caribbean though.
She does.
Caribbean.
Yeah, she does. So that's lucky. It's like, why come to Thailand? It's the same thing. Like,
nice. Does she feel different?
They love it here. Actually, I think they're gonna. Hopefully,
people are nicer.
Yeah, they are actually.
I'm sure the people in the Caribbean are also very lovely.
Not really, I gotta tell you. Like, definitely Thai people have the edge on the niceness, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And the affordability is over here. I'll give the actual beaches themselves. That goes to the Caribbean. But yeah, I don't know. We were in Pattaya over the weekend too, and Pattaya Beach was looking good, man. Like, it was like really nice and cleaned up from what I remembered it. So yeah, where my Pattaya boys at? Stand up. Because you got a lovely city down there. It was, I haven't like actually stayed. We just go for projects from time to time, but actually staying and just relaxing, enjoying the city, seeing a ping pong show. It's a good time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Sure, you're kidding.
I know.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through some of these stories that we have from around ASEAN, starting with Malaysia and their pop star that's been arrested in Thailand for meth trafficking. Pop stars and drugs. Malaysian pop star Ada Ezrin, along with 5 other Malaysians, were arrested in Narathiwat, Thailand, after authorities discovered over 6,000 methamphetamine tablets in their possession. The group, apprehended in a Sungai Kolok hotel, tested positive for the drug and did not claim ownership of the drugs as well. They now face charges for possession with intent to distribute and drug use. 2 suspects were additionally charged with illegal entry due to improper passport stamps, and around 100 fans and relatives gathered outside the police station, joined by Malaysian police and media. And Malaysian authorities have reportedly been tracking 1 suspect for suspected drug involvement. Well, so they tested positive for the drug, and they said, wait, these 6,000 tablets that you found, not ours. I don't know how they got there.
Yeah, like, what? Who? 6,000? Jesus Christ, they were having a party, man. Like, that's insane.
They were planning to take it back.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know.
Who knows what the plan was. My favorite part of this story is that the ton of fans got outside the police station. Like,
we still love you.
Free. What's her name again?
Fans will do anything, man. I mean, we don't deserve fans.
I don't know. Fans
we have a very loyal fan gathering, and I feel like the shenanigans that we've been doing over the last 3 years, we're very fortunate to have them.
Where's our when are we gonna have the meth story, Jay? We need to go have a party.
I know. We need to go on a bender.
Yeah, just like
we're not in the news because we're not like provocative. We're not edgy enough.
We have to be more controversial.
Yeah.
That gets the views, man.
Exactly.
Yeah,
gets the people going.
Indeed. Got to rile them up. And no better way to do that than with a bit of yaba in the system, apparently. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. I wonder if are they gonna enforce it here? Are they gonna extradite her back to Malaysia?
Probably take her back to Malaysia. I'm guessing.
You think so?
I mean, it's still a huge crime in Malaysia, so she or he, I'm not sure.
She, I think.
She is in big trouble.
Yeah. And that's don't do drugs, people. All right. Well, moving on, we have another Malaysia story, which is a bit more political in nature. Now, Malaysia is proposing the UN expulsion of Israel over the Gaza conflict. Now, Malaysia's Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announced plans to seek Arab support at an upcoming summit to propose Israel's expulsion from the United Nations, citing alleged violations of international law and UN directives in Gaza. With over 43,000 Palestinian casualties since Israel's October 2023 conflict with Hamas, Malaysia has condemned Israel's actions and banned Israeli-linked companies. the recent termination of Israel's cooperation with the UN Relief and Works Agency, or UNRWA, due to alleged ties with Hamas, has fueled tensions. Malaysia aims to unify Arab and Muslim nations on an immediate ceasefire, humanitarian aid, and a UN initiative against apartheid policies. However, expelling Israel from UN faces challenges, particularly given the US's veto power in the Security Council. This is funny because the Muslim world is wide-ranging, man.
Yeah, and it's divided a lot of countries and people with different opinions.
Well, it really hasn't divided the Muslim world. That's the whole thing, is that they're very much on the one side. The way out here.
Well, there's the world, and then there's the Muslim world, and then there's within the Muslim world.
I mean, it's certainly divided a lot of people within Western democracies, right?
Yeah.
Things like that. But over here in Malaysia, Indonesia.
And the geopolitics, and different countries having different relations. I mean, it's a...
Yeah. Well, it does seem this is one of the things, man, is that Israel still seems to wield a considerable amount of power in geopolitics, especially with sway over American politics. So I'm curious, this seems like it's not, it's a big statement to make. How much teeth it actually has yet to be seen, but it's certainly a stance to take, that's for sure. It's a stance. Anyways.
Yeah.
Well, moving on.
All right, moving on to the Philippines, as Philippines prepares for Typhoon Yinxing with evacuations and troop standby. Now, the Philippines is preparing for Typhoon Yinxing, set to impact northeastern regions later this week. Authorities have called for evacuations, stockpiled food, and placed soldiers on standby for rescue operations. The typhoon, with winds of 120 kilometers per hour, is currently about 590 kilometers from Aurora Province's town of Baler. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro highlighted efforts to evacuate remote communities, release dam water to prevent flooding, and pre-position supplies. The storm may affect 24 million people and is the third severe weather event to hit the Philippines in recent weeks, following Storm Trami and Super Typhoon Kongray. Do stay out there, Philippines. I mean, obviously some things can't be avoided, but it's good to know that they're preparing for it.
It has been a rough typhoon season, man, for the Philippines, for Taiwan, for Vietnam, too.
Yeah.
They've just been getting pummeled. And what's unfortunate about this is that there's a clear trend over the past several years of these storms intensifying and only getting worse. So I don't really know, how do we prepare better, right? This is something that needs to be taken very seriously, because the loss of life, the property damage is it's a lot, man, and I don't know, breaks my heart, because there's a reason for it. I think climate change is creating more extreme weather, but I don't know what the solution is other than us all banding together and I don't know, turning off all the lights and not using any electricity. But anyways, hearts go out, and hopefully everybody can stay safe. All right. Anyways, moving on to our last story of the day, which is kind of interesting, funny little tech news coming out of Indonesia. Now, Apple has offered $10 million to reverse Indonesia's iPhone ban.
Okay, that's it. Okay.
It seems like a lowball. Apple has offered to invest nearly $10 million in a factory in Bandung, Indonesia, to reverse the country's ban on iPhone 16 sales. This investment, aimed at producing Apple accessories and components, comes as Indonesia requires a 40% local content quota for smartphones. The Ministry of Industry is reviewing Apple's proposal, which, if approved, would grant the tech giant access to Indonesia's large, youthful market of 278 million consumers. Indonesia's tough stance on local production, also applied to Google Pixel devices, reflects its push for domestic manufacturing. However, critics argue this strategy could deter foreign investment, as previous restrictions impacted companies like LG Electronics, which faced import challenges for components. I don't know. It's one of those things where you set up protective tariffs, protective policies in order to stimulate local economies, but sometimes you're too protective, and that just scares away the international investment altogether. So this seems like a compromise that will eventually go through.
Yeah. I still feel like 10 million. I mean, okay, I thought it was going to be like a 10 million bribe, but okay. Now that they're opening a factory and this and that, Definitely not a bribe.
Tomato. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but
Because what are they actually building? They're doing
it
like,
was a wild decision for Indonesia to just ban iPhones. I mean, it's just like you can't just. I mean, yeah, you can. I mean, America did that with Huawei, but
yeah, that's true.
but you know, it's just like it was gonna ban iPhones
It
from
was
Indonesia.
only the newest model. It was only iPhone 16s, so
Okay.
all the Apple stores stayed open. You could buy the old models
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Who wants to buy the old model when they've got the new model?
That's also true. People that can't afford like 50,000 baht iPhones, like
yeah,
good
but
God.
like the difference between a 16 and a 15 is like 5,000 to 10,000 baht.
Is it? I feel like
Or
it's,
less.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. They're moving forward.
Yeah.
Indonesian TikTokers rejoice. You'll be able to get your 16s soon.
Yeah.
I think. We'll
Go
keep an
for
eye
the
on
16.
it. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's it, ladies
That'll
and
do it,
gentlemen.
yeah.
Those are some of the stories from across Thailand and ASEAN. You can, of course, find more stories from Thailand on thetiger.com, and you can join in on any of these stories that we've spoken about today on ASEANnow.com,
There you
which
can.
is Thailand's largest forum.